All right, so we got a bunch of new stuff in. If y'all didn't see that short, you may want to go check it out. Still got about half a bed load in the back of the truck that I haven't undone yet. Some of this right here. So we say we just grab some stuff, take it apart, get it ready, and see where it goes.
Rock bottom on the track, boy.
All right, so let's see what we got here. So this is gonna be a motherboard. It's a MSI brand, whatever that is. Military Class 4. Okay, cool. It's a little sticker back here and stuff. So we're going, of course this is shred. We're going to clean this thing up a little bit here, get the stuff off that needs to come off, like the aluminum. The battery. And I believe that is it. So if you're selling it to board sort, it will be a small metal socket. Quarter can't fit inside that hole in the center there. Decent amount of weight to it. Of course, board sort says no batteries. They don't like them, they don't want them, they don't need them. Honestly, if I wasn't selling it to board sort, these pins are not gold. These pins are gold. There's a few IC chips, nothing, not like it's a whole lot or super major or anything. A few flat pack ICs there, crystal oscillator here. This chip probably has gold in it, but I've been told it's not worth going after if it's got that glass top on it. Another crystal oscillator. You do have your connections here. They're going to be painted and probably cheap and not worth going after for the gold. These pins don't look gold. These are gold. These connections should be gold. Yeah, none of these. That's crazy. Your connections in here should have some gold in them, but again, is it enough to be worth going after? It looks like these boards are being made cheap, and your best bet might be just to sell it to board sort, because it's really not much gold in here to go after. You will have a little copper in these here, but I've been told these are just the ends are like spray painted gold, and that's not worth it. That's probably the same, so that might be a good board sort board right there. Yeah. So this is going to be a Prime X47 Pro board. So let's see if we can't clean this bad boy up a little bit. Battery's got to come out. This one is bigger, definitely. That's plastic. It does have a screw in it. So whoever board sort sends their stuff to, apparently they go after the little gold too. So if you can get money for it, go for it. We do have a bunch of other screws on the back here, probably holding these aluminum heat sinks on, so we want to go ahead and take these out. This is definitely a better built board than the last one because it's not simple heat sinks. They're more extravagant and cool looking, and they are bolted down to the board. They aren't even just glued. They're, you know, got a screw in them holding them in place. So back side of this board looks like it's got some MLCCs, about the only ones that are really big enough to go after. Maybe these 6 here, these here maybe. They're still pretty small though. They sell by the pound, and I mean, if you got a pound of them, it's worth a pretty decent amount of money. But it takes a lot to make a pound of them, so most people don't go after them, especially the small. Something's about 8-9 times that size they'll go after, but the small ones they don't worry about. Now, the way we've been depopulating stuff, I will probably collect them up because they're coming off and falling in with everything else, so why not? Shouldn't be that hard. We'll see when I get to sorting that stuff out though. Alright, I think this is the last screw on the back. Famous last words. So this was the plastic cover that was over all of this here. So that's just trash. Here's one heat sink, and it's a pretty heavy duty heat sink. This is the stuff that I keep to melt for when I'm making something for somebody. I call this stuff right here boogers. This is great for running up to your kid and sticking it to the forehead or something. And checking out the look you get from them. But that's another nice thick heat sink. So this is apparently by Asus. It's showing their symbol. So that's gonna be a plastic cover piece right there that needs to come off before I throw it in the furnace, just to keep from making extra slag green. Alright, so that looks like it's all the aluminum that's on here. So let's just kind of give it a once over and see what we got. So these pins are gold. Gold, 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 gold. All those are gold. Got some IC chips here and there. A few little ones in here. Some MLCCs. I don't think there's much gold in this right here. From what I've heard. Some more various IC chips around. It looks like pretty much every set of pins on this. These are gold, but I don't think these two are. They're just for running fans. You're gonna have some gold in your connectors here. Some gold in your connectors here. Gold in these connectors. There's a couple crystal oscillators. I see 3 without looking hard. There might be another one. And you got some copper in these that you can salvage. If you're just going to sell it to board sort, oh, these have gold in them too. In this, these are not gold. This is going to be a AMD style. Yeah, whatever you socket. If you're selling a board sort, it's also a black board. So you just have to check and see, you know, kind of what's what with that stuff. Battery's out. That looks like that's about it. It's ready to move on to the next process. Alright, so we've been through a couple circuit boards. So I set that one aside for a minute. We'll take a look at that one here in a minute. So I did get this. What is most people going to do with this? They're going to throw it away. Throw it in the shred and roll on with it, right? Not me though. This is your mouse board, and you can see right down the side it's gold. So I'm going to spend the time to take that little booger out of there.
Same
and actually save it to recover the gold off of, because it's not hard to recover the gold off of that. Now you got your little connectors here. There's no gold on that one. You're probably gonna find silver in these little push button tabs. This board's just copper, which we are hoping to figure out how to recover the copper out of the boards one day.
Oh, we know how. Just go waiting on some moolah.
No gold on those connections. I'll go ahead and pull this one off. Get it out the way here. Now, what do you do with this if you're not trying to regain the copper or the silver or whatever? I'm gonna pull these and try to, you know, let those stock up. But you can toss this. I say you can. It depends upon your yard, but you can probably toss that into your shred. It shouldn't be any problem. Again, check with your yard. Every yard's different. Some are like, sure, it's copper in it. It's probably some other stuff too. We'll be happy or glad to take it. Others are going to be like, you lost your mind. I don't know what the heck that is, and get that crap out of here. So yeah. So this is just a little board up here. Nothing too fancy, major about it. I think it's the on-off button, to be honest with you. Yeah. So there's a little tab underneath here for the on-off button to cut it on and off. Again, that's probably a silver tab. I know it looks gold, but that's a coating over top of it to keep it like waterproof. There's no gold ends on this stuff, so it just goes in the wire, and the board looks like it's copper from what I can see. So that's what those tabs look like underneath those buttons though, that you want to get out. If that's something you want to go to. Now, with this being like it is, there's some grommets in here. You can get those out. Quite often they're brass. If you want to take the time to get them out, they are a huge pain in the backside. You might get heated up and find a long screw that fits and screw it in a little bit and pull them out. I don't know, I hadn't tried. I just hadn't really too much worried about those. But you still have this here, so once I get this out, I'm still tossing this into the shred. I mean, this weighs more than plastic. That's kind of how I roll. And when I take shred or anything, I'm taking a dump trailer worth, you know. I'm not playing around, so they don't normally bother me too much about what's in there unless I get real crazy, which I try not to do. I did have them fuss at me one time, I think, because I had 2 tires.
Yeah, some yards have tires, you don't know.
Yeah. It's like whatever, dude. It just happened to be what I threw in there. Sorry.
It happens.
Important thing is, work with them. Don't be a pain. You want them to be your friend, not your enemy. Some yards think they're supposed to be your enemy, so.
They give you a breakage instead of ACI, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've kind of figured out what yard I'm taking what to at this point, because they're not ripping me off. You know, I mean, they're making money on what I'm bringing, so whatever. All right, so this is the other side that's nice and sticky. As you can see, it's gold flashing around it. You remove this, normally there's gold underneath that too. I will heat it up and knock these couple little things off and pull these off for the gold and such that's in that. But yeah, so don't count out your mouse pads on laptops. It's a good place to find a little bit of gold. And so far, I think I've only found one. I didn't really know what it was. The rest of them were either gold or copper. Yeah. All right, next board here. All right, again, this is going to be a metal socket, but this is going to be a small metal socket. Quarter won't fit inside of that. Where can we find gold? Well, it's going to be these connectors, all of this stuff here, all of these here. Some of your pins running around in different spots, these are gold. Most of these on this side are gold. You've got connections here that have gold, you know, that kind of thing. But we definitely know in order to get it ready, we have got to pull the battery out. And remove the aluminum. So let's see what we got once we get the aluminum and all off of here. Hey, is the drill handy?
Sure is.
Let me borrow it a second. Oh yeah. Yep. Again, higher class board. Think something said ASICS on it. I'm not positive though. I think that's all the big screws. I'm gonna have to do these two by hand because they's little. So I see some MLCCs on the back of this board, different spots, like here. A couple here, a couple here. Normally this side of the boards, there's not much there. So we're gonna flip this bad boy over and get to this stuff. And this. So that's just, I don't even know what that is. It's like a plastic stop with metal there, so I'll throw it in thread. And this is basically the same as the other board as far as, you know, what's on it. This does look a little bit more populated with a little bit more stuff than the last one. Again, the aluminum heat sinks I use to melt and make stuff for people. It is like higher grade, one of the higher grades of aluminum. It's extruded or MLC or something like that. I don't remember the other name for it. What? Yeah.
MLC.
Yeah, MLC. But yeah, all these are just capacitors. Some yards will actually take capacitors as aluminum breakage or dirty aluminum. Toss them in there. That's if you're depopulating the board. You got copper in this. Actually, these are 3 buttons, so there's probably silver under those, silver tabs. These have copper. These have copper. I already told this one has copper. I already told you about the gold pins. That's for M.1. That's the screw that I actually need for my computer. So let's see if I can't take that out and save that one. So that board is ready to go. Let's take a look at these. So these heat sinks actually are connected, so they could transfer heat back and forth from those little things that were under it if need be, depending upon which side's working harder than the other or whatever, you know. There's some screws in the bottom, so I want to take this apart and see what it actually looks like. I think we're about to be kitty cat invaded again. Interesting. So these are some pretty heavy, pretty heavy setup here. So yeah, that's all that is. It's glued on, so I'll take the other one off. Is that aluminum? It sure is. So that's aluminum too. You can pull the little, those are probably steel. Yeah. So you can pull the little steel pieces out so you have clean aluminum. You can pull this off so you have clean aluminum. I'm not even sure what that is, to be honest with you. I doubt that's copper. It's probably, no, it is copper. It's just coated with something. So if y'all can see that, so that's kind of a nice setup. This right here is a nice chunk of aluminum, and we've got 2 screws in it right here. So let's see what's going on with that. You ready for that back?
No.
Trying to quit on me at 9:30 at night?
No. I'm looking this thing up and I'm about to open it up. I want to see how much it's worth.
$365.2 million.
Woohoo! No, it's worth $27 to $144. If I can prove it's tested and it works. But I can't.
Yeah.
Therefore, so
Somebody's gonna be a hater.
oh well. Hang out, please. Going out the show.
So yeah, that was just kind of glued on there. I'm not too sure what the purpose of that was, unless they just had to put something on there to make it closer or whatever, I don't know. But this is pretty much solid aluminum. It's a nice little chunk of aluminum. I'm not sure if this black piece is plastic or aluminum. I don't know why you would have that big of a piece of aluminum that you cover with plastic, so it's probably some type of aluminum too, because that would defeat the purpose of having that big aluminum heat sink. Yeah, it's aluminum. It's glued on. Good stuff. So yeah, listen. There it is, aluminum. And this is a nice, huge chunk of aluminum that is now completely clean. You can see it's got some width to it. So I'll clean this up and get that ready. This is already clean and ready. That I'll probably just throw into the sheet. Oh, sheet. And then I'll clean these up and get these ready to go. Toss that over into the sheet as well, probably. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing good. As you can see, heat sinks will pile up kind of quick when you're going through boards, especially if it's higher quality boards. We got a whole 55-gallon drum completely full of it. See y'all next time.